Building with Papa. Okay, I built this unit. I'm going to show you the complete build up. As you can see, all this plywood, I work with a company. I give them all the measurements and they cut all the plywood for me to my measurements. And it makes the job a lot easier. It would take too long for me to cut all this in my shop. I'm using a Craig pocket hole jig. You can see that video, and I do an unpacking of that jig. I really like it. It works really good, especially this one. I believe it's a 700 series, and it adjusts every time when you have a different size thickness of plywood or any type of wood. The clamp adjusts to that size. You just have to make sure you have your pocket hole drill bit set to the proper depth for the thickness of plywood or any wood that you're using. Alright, now we're assembling this, and we went a little bit quick here, but I do put glue on the inside edge before we clamp it, and then put the pocket hole screws in. It helps, it works really good, and you use your clamps, make sure you have everything square, and then everything lines up really good. As you can see on the plywood, you'll see some different dots that I have on there. All that is telling me is that I don't need to sand or finish that area. So I put that on ahead of time, and this way we don't have to think about what we're doing when we start to stain. Only the interior and the edges. Now what I do is I pour my conditioner into a container. I don't want it to be on more than 15 minutes, so I start a timer. 15 minutes. I start it right when I start because this will go on really quick. Then I need to wipe it off within 15 minutes. Or less. I like doing 15 minutes. I like using a conditioner whenever I'm staining. It helps it even out the stain so it's not blotchy. It's quick and easy, simple step, but it's worth every bit of it. Okay, timer's about to go off. I'm going to start wiping it down. Okay, not much comes off on the cloth, okay, but there is some, and it's pretty dry. All right, I'm gonna wipe down this cabinet here in a few minutes, and then we'll start the staining. Okay, now I'm gonna start the stain. This is an espresso stain. Everything is oil-based, and I do the same thing because we're looking for a certain color. So the stain's going to need to stay on for 15 minutes, and I got to do it 3 coats. Okay, but what I'm showing you right now is just a technique of how to stain raw wood. When staining raw wood, sometimes you don't have the exact color. This customer wanted this very dark, and so I needed to do 3 coats. Anything less than 3 coats, it didn't come out to the customer's liking. So that's why I'm doing 3. You have to let it dry completely between coats, and then you'll be able to get to a specific color. It's a lot of work, but again, it's worth it. Okay, now I'm waiting for the timer to go off so I can start wiping this down. I'm going to wait on staining the other one. I want to wipe this down before I do anything with the other one. The conditioner, you can have it sit for up to 2 hours before you put the stain on. So I don't have any issue with that. This is going to ring here in a little bit, and I'm going to start wiping this one down. Okay, timer's about to go off, and I'm going to start wiping this down. fold up my rag, I like to get it where the roll is this way, and then you move everything with the grain. Brush it through or wipe it down so it all blends in. When you're wiping off the stain, go in the direction of the grain. Then once you wipe the majority of it off, then you start in your circular motions. And this will blend everything in very nicely. Okay, now that's the first coat. I got 3 more coats to do, or 2 more coats to do of the stain, and 1 coat of the satin finish. All right, I think it's looking good. Okay, now it dried overnight, and so I'm going to lightly sand them and apply the second coat. Almost forgot, before I apply the second coat, I'm going to use the tack cloth to remove any dust. Okay, now we let it dry for 15 minutes. Okay. Now, you rub it off with the grain first. Okay. Then, circular motion. Look how beautiful that is. That looks beautiful. All right, let me get the rest of this. Okay, I think it's turning out quite well. Okay, now a light sanding again once it's fully dried. I'm still using a 220 grit, but not very hard, just a light sanding. This will help on your finish product. You can use a 320 if you want to. It's not necessary. I'm not changing the paper often. Just doing it very lightly. Okay, coat number 3. Look how beautiful that is. Okay, it's 3 coats, came out really nice. I'm really liking this. All right, let me get finished. All right, here are the shelves. Started staining those. And then I'm going to make the doors. I got this maple and I ripped it down. I found a 1x6. I was able to rip it down and square it up so I can make these doors. I used the pocket hole jig and glue. And once I got them all together and nice and square, I used the router so that I can put in the wood panels for the doors, and then the other doors got glass. Alright, I'm putting in the pocket hole fillers, which I bought maple also. Put them in, let them dry overnight. Then I sanded them down, and as you can see, the doors came out quite nice. Alright, I cut the panels. Now for the wood panels, I didn't bother chiseling out the corners. You need to for the glass doors, but for the wood panels, all you have to do is cut a little piece off the corner and it fits real nice. These doors came out amazing. Okay, I just finished spraying it. I think I did it. See how they dry. Okay, now we install. I removed those speakers and did the drywall patching. Then I put down the kick plate that I made with 2x4s, and you level that up first. This way, when all the cabinets go on top, they're perfectly level. It works out really nice. I have all the drawers in, the shelves, and now I put on the hardware. And the granite guy is coming with the quartz top that my customer picked out. So now the quartz top is in, we protect the bottom area, and we start putting in the upper cabinets. Tie it all together, put the LED lights in, the doors on, and man, this thing looks awesome. Give me a thumbs up. Like, subscribe, and ring that bell. See you on the next one. I really hope you enjoyed this video.